Now for stories that are trending now, and Olamide Odekunle is standing by to bring us up to speed. Good morning, Olamide.
Good morning, team. How are we doing today?
Very well.
I always say that Wednesday is my best day because I don't know what it is about Wednesday, but so much is happening midweek.
Yeah, because Friday is just around the corner.
I've got some good stories for you guys. Can I take it away?
Take it away.
Good morning, Nigeria. As I always say, TVC has a finger on the pulse and our eye on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, we bring you things that are happening in the world that you and I live in. We begin today with some tension on Twitter as the U.S. mission in Nigeria is stirring conversation online after a bold tweet that many say takes direct aim at Nigerian public officials. In a post on its official X handle, the mission questioned why, at a time when Nigerians are being urged to tighten their belts, some state governors are splurging on lavish new government buildings. The tweet pointedly asked why funds aren't being directed to schools, clinics, or agriculture instead. And the U.S. mission says that more than ever in Nigeria, there's more money, but little accountability and no priority. This is a stinging critique that appears to resonate with a lot of frustrated citizens, but not everybody is impressed. Some Nigerians are accusing the U.S. of meddling in our domestic affairs, while others are wondering if there's more to the message, possibly a hidden American agenda. But still, it leaves us with a tough question. Is this public call-out a necessary wake-up call for Nigerian leaders? Or is it just a case of foreign interference disguised as genuine concern? The father of media theory, Marshall McLuhan, once said that the medium is the message, which means that a lot of time we focus on who's sending the message and how the message is being sent as opposed to the actual message. Let's see what you guys make of this. The U.S. mission chose violence. Jaina says, be rest assured there is an American agenda behind that post. Americans never do anything like this if they don't have an agenda behind it. Time will reveal all. And Jack Penedre says, with all due respect, the U.S. mission should face its own issues. America has its fair share of economic inequality, homelessness, and political dysfunction, so they are in no position to lecture Nigerians. Yes, we have our challenges, but it's our internal struggle, and we'll fix it our own way. We don't need foreign missions throwing shade. We need respect, not interference. Interesting. Moving on into the world of politics. Governor Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi State has made headlines after suspending 87 senior government officials for failing to show up at an important state function, a move that is said to be aimed at reinforcing discipline and commitment to public office in his state. Now, the sweeping suspension sanctions, which will take effect immediately, affects 25 commissioners, 14 senior special assistants, 24 special assistants, and 22 permanent secretary. And all those affected are barred from signing official documents during this suspension period. And commissioners were ordered to hand over to their respective permanent secretaries, although ironically, some of those secretaries were also among the suspended. And my question is this proverbial cracking of the whip a commendable leadership style that promotes public accountability? Was it too stern a punishment? Either way, it does send a strong message to political appointees across the country. Now, under Nigerian law, he does have the right to discipline his political aides, but it must respect Section 36, subsection 1 of the Nigerian Constitution, which grants these people the right to a fair hearing. Some people are saying that it doesn't follow due process and it lacks executive discretion. But let's take a look at social media. Is this an abuse of executive discretion? Sir Philip says, big move by Nwifuru. Suspending that many officials at once sends a clear message about discipline and accountability in his administration. And Unique Ben says, persons with low self-esteem don't do well with power. Authoritarianism becomes his approach to leadership. Authoritarianism means overcompensating for their internal feelings of inadequacy by exerting excessive control or adopting a rigid, inflexible leadership style. 87 is a big number. But moving on into the world of entertainment, it was a royal vibe outside Buckingham Palace as Burnaboy made a surprise appearance to celebrate England's women's football team. The Nigerian star joined the Lionesses on stage following their dramatic victory over Spain to retain the European Championship and gave their coach, Serena Wiegmann, a moment to remember. Now, Wiegmann has many times publicly named Burnaboy as her favorite singer, and she looked really happy as he was introduced by former England international star Alex Scott. Have a look at this feel-good moment. Whenever I'm broken, you make me feel
so I wanna hold you so tight, so tight. But every single moment, you were there by my side. Whenever I'm broken, you make me feel whole. Whenever I'm lonely, you're there for my soul. Wherever you are, girl, that's where I call my own. Whenever you doubt it.
I love that song. But unfortunately, this surprise performance didn't sit well with everyone. Back home in Nigeria, some fans were disappointed that Burna Boy hadn't shown the same energy for the Super Falcons, who recently won the WAFCON title. For them, this was a missed chance by Burna Boy to spotlight local champions on a global stage. Centuries ago, an African black artist headlining a show at Buckingham Palace was unheard of. I think that this is a milestone, and it's clear that African culture and music is now being celebrated where it was once suppressed. Let's take a look at social media. The Gunners Den says, Burna Boy serenading the victorious England women's team. How touching. You'd think he might have done the same thing for the Super Falcons after winning the African Women's Championship, especially since they're representing his country, Nigeria. But hey, priorities, right? Let's not politicize the sport and the moment. Leon says, he didn't sing for the victorious Super Falcons, but was quick to join the English Lioness. I know Tenny performed for the Super Falcons, so they did get a bit of celebration. But team, this is very interesting. The US mission in Nigeria, some people are saying this is messy. Why would you go and tweet that sort of thing? You're not putting any sort of, you're not trying to liaison with key stakeholders in Nigeria. You're going on Twitter and you're calling out these government officials. Was it an expose or was it a relevant critique?
If it was a relevant critique, they would have talked to the Nigerian officials first before going public on X. I think that's meddling, and it's not very encouraging. I really frown at that. The governor of Ebonyi State what they didn't publish about it is that maybe I'm sure he must have given a whole lot of warnings before taking this drastic measure. And for Burna Boy, he's a businessman. I don't think he went there for free.
Thank you. You just took those words out of my mouth. Whatever you guys said, Burna Boy does not care. He's making his money, and that's what matters to him. He's even focused his attention on outside the country, and so what he is dealing with is those who are willing to perform and appreciate him and his talent and are ready to pay for it. That's for Burna Boy. Now, then talking about the other story about the mission meddling in our affairs, I think it's high time they mind their business. They have their issues. They should face Trump. Trump is enough issue for them to deal with. Focus on Trump and all that he's doing.
All right, and just quickly, the Burna Boy story. I love the fact that our music cut across, but then again, of course, he was paid, but I was hoping he would do something for our Super Falcons as well. You know, over a period of time, we've seen how Burna Boy, you know, just likes to be like, oh, abroad made me and all of that. But, you know, Nigerians, we love you and we expect things from you because, like, you're such a big star, and we know that you were paid for this, but why wouldn't you do something free for the Super Falcons? That's just my thoughts. And then also, I think that they are meddling. I just pray that they mind their business, and if they wanted to do it the right way, that's not the best way to go about it. X is not the best way.
Absolutely not. You know, but again, for me, we don't need any foreign governments to tell Nigeria what to do. Nigerians, we know what to do, and that's why it's really important that you know, our leaders prioritize the right things at the right time, so that somebody doesn't come to tell us how to keep our houses clean. Yeah. That's as simple as that. If we are good, I'm not sure anybody will come in to say whatever he or she has to say. Burna Boy is big. Davido, Wizkid, name them. You know, all over the world, they're celebrated icons, a proud, being for us as a country and for themselves as well. And so, look, if we wanted them to be at the Falcons, you know, return to Nigeria, probably we would have arranged for either of them to be there. You know, I'm not sure they would just by themselves walk in to sing for the Falcons. If you didn't invite them, they wouldn't come. It's about money, y'all. You know.
For your country.
Bottom line.
It's no big deal, really.
If I'm not invited, I
will not come. So,
absolutely.
But the Super Falcons made all of us proud. We are all Nigerians.
Absolutely, they did, and I'm sure Burna Boy himself and several other ones are also proud of what the Super Falcons did. But look, invite me and I'll come.
Look at the coach of this.
She's so excited.
Thank you.
Like,
thank you so much.
She's even singing his songs.
For the governor of Ebonyi State, you know, look, it's a political event. They know how to handle themselves. Everybody who is appointed to be in politics you know what you need to do. So do it.
But Tim, I have to say, how can you ask me to hand over to my secretary, but my secretary is me and I've been suspended?
That was an oversight.
Well, they have directors of administration.
Absolutely, there's protocol.